Hey YouTube, it's not just Nas. I'm here to show you my deck profile for the War Gods. Now, the War Gods will come out in August for the TCG, and it'll be in the booster pack Judgment of the Light. Now, this deck is pretty solid. It has a lot of consistency, and I faced many decks online with this deck. I do all the Dino Rabbits, the Macro Rabbits, the Fire Kings, and the Fire Fists, and other rogue decks. And it does pretty well against the decks. I've racked up a few Ws, a lot of Ws, not a few Ws. I'm being humble. But the only deck that does bad against is Mermails. Thank you, Konami, for making Mermails very OP, very OP. Thank you. Now, enough of the chit chat. Let's get to the deck list. I run 1 Gores, 3 Yamatos, the main search engine of the deck, 3 Hetsuka, 3 Murakumo, 3 Habakiri, the Honest or Kaluda of the deck. It doubles the attack of Yamato or Susanoo because it has to be a Beast Warrior when you use the effect. The monster has to be a Beast Warrior. 2 Taruda, 1 Honest. So you have pretty much four Honests in here. Not, whatever, you know what I mean. 3 Effect Dealers. For the spells, you have 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Mind Control, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Foolish Burial, and 3 Night Beams. And 2 Pot of Dualities, 2 War God Advent, 2 Lances, and 2 Tankies to search out the Yamato, who's a Beast Warrior. For the traps, you have Mirror Force, 2 Turns of Tribute, 1 Solemn Judgment, and Solemn Warning. For the extra deck, you have the Stardust Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, Gaia, and Catastor Staple Synchros. And I also tech in the extra deck 1 Gaia Dragon because I run Mind Controls and I do see the rank 5 and rank 6s come up in duels, and it's a situational Exceed Summon card. And I can always take the Strike Bouncer or Attune, I think the Hieratic Attune card. Go for Gaia Dragon, so it definitely helps. A Utopia raid, Utopia, and 3 War God Emperor Susanoo. What Susanoo does is that one, it can attack all your monsters. You can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card. You can either add 1 War God monster, so you can add one of these guys, or you can send a War God monster from your deck to the graveyard. So your targets for sending to the grave would be the Hetsuka or Murakumo, and your targets for adding would be mostly the Habakiri, and if anything, the Yamato. 1 Photon Papilla Operative, 1 Black Ship of Corn, 1 Photon Paradios, 1 Maestro, and 1 Cowboy. Now, there are a lot of pros for the deck. It has a lot of consistency. When you're using Yamato, you're constantly thinning and searching, and you set up your graveyard so fast. And there's a lot of backup for the deck, a lot of backup. Hitsuka saves most of them because Hitsuka says it negates the effects of any card that targets a War God. And Murakumo destroys a face-up card if you control Beast Warrior War God. So if you control Yamato or Susanoo, you can destroy 1 face-up card, and this can be only used once per turn. So that's the downside of it. And Habakiri, like I said, is like the Honest of the deck, the Kaluda of the deck. The cons include Dimensional Fissure or Macrocosmos heavily damage the deck. Although I haven't faced it yet, I haven't seen the destructive force of that yet. I mean, I probably will tomorrow because that's how karma works. But looking at it, Macrocosmos will destroy the deck. And also the last con of the deck is that if you don't have first turn Yamato, it's a very your early game kind of slows down for you. But that's why you have Gorge as a safety net. But if you don't have first turn Yamato, hopefully you'll get a Tenki, or you can get it through a Pot of Duality. Also, I forgot to mention a good a pro for this deck is that it's a great early game. It's a great mid-game deck, and it's also a great late-game deck. The early game, if you have Yamato, set up your graveyard. Mid-game, you're usually negating stuff with the Hitsukas, and Yamato survives. In the late game, that's when you bring out the Susano, in my opinion. I usually bring out Susano late game, if not, never at all, because my Yamato is doing all the work, and I'm just beating them down with like the Habakiris or the Honest and stuff like that. But the downside of that is, it's not a great late early game deck if you don't have the Yamato. So other than that, the deck is pretty solid in my opinion. Well, yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and comment as well if you have any changes to the deck that you might, or if you have any thing that might help the deck. Let me know. All right, take care.